Back again to the class of 49, George Mainville. 3 years of varsity football, 4 years of varsity basketball, 3 years of varsity baseball. 1947, 48, and 49 CBC championships in baseball, 48 and 49 CBC champions in basketball, 4 years varsity baseball at Hilliard College, which is now the University of Hartford. 1953, the team captain in baseball when they had a 21-7 record. 1953, basketball team captain. 53 to 55, players, coach, U.S. Army post team with a 36-5 record. From 1955 to 61, the Hartford Industrial Basketball League. The Route B team averaged 23 points per game, the second highest scorer in the league. Simsbury Little League coach for 12 years, town champion in 1980. Simsbury Babe Ruth coach for 5 years, U16 and U19 basketball coach at St. Mary's School. From 1953 to 55, George served in the U.S. Army, continued his baseball career playing for and coaching the post team. He then returned to Simsbury, where he married Annie Holcomb and had 4 children, all who attended Simsbury High. George and Annie Marie were blessed with 3 grandchildren who attended Simsbury as well. All of them played sports for the Trojans. He is a Hall of Famer, George Mainville.
Thank you very much, Jay. Just one minor correction, if I might. I was the player coach of the Army basketball team, although I did play baseball also. But Jeff Pitty stole one of my opening lines when he said that he appreciates all of you folks showing up. My words are, we all know Coach Bill Belichick, and he's a man of a few words. When the few words you get out of him, he says the Patriots people are the fans are the best ones in the world. Well, I like to think that all you folks are the best fans in the world to brave this cold weather and come out tonight. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. I want to put in a good word, so to speak, for the Simsbury Board of Education and the Assistant Principal, Steve Petrina, Director of Athletics, Jeff Pitty, and the members of the committee who selected the candidates. I think they went over and above the course of duty. I'm not in a position, by the way, to hand out or rent magic fly carpets, but I would like all of you to join me as I turn back the clock, so to speak, and bring you back to the late 1940s when I attended Simsbury High School. Simsbury was a rather small farming community of 4,000 people, and the high school had a total enrollment of 425 students. By the way, that 425 included students who were bused in from Granby and East Granby, as they did not have high schools during that period. The high school was where the current Simsbury Public Town offices are located. The CIAC classified us as Class C, which placed us in the small school division. We had 3 varsity sports, football, basketball, baseball. We had technically 1 coach, Russell Scholes, who coached football and basketball. Bill Henry, who played baseball at Trinity College, volunteered to coach the baseball team. I'd like to give you a quick overview of the teams of my era. Football had been discontinued during the war years due to gasoline rationing. some of you younger folks don't know what that is, I'll explain later. But we resumed football in my sophomore year. Most of the teammates had very little hands-on experience playing football, and consequently this caused a big challenge for Coach Jones. So what did he do? He went out and enlisted several of the teachers, including our principal, Elliot P. Dodge, to help teach fundamentals of the game. We played a single wing formation, and those of us who started played, generally speaking, the whole game because we didn't have substitutes with enough experience to replace us. We wore leather helmets. The polycarbonate plastic helmets didn't come into play till the year after I graduated, which you know. We didn't have any field lights or electric scoreboard. We shocked the world when we beat Weaver High School 7-0 and tied Enfield High. Both of these teams were in the large school category. Now getting over to basketball, basketball went through a tremendous transition period. When I was a freshman and sophomore, the teams played a very slow, regulated game. Most of the shots were taken with a two-hand set shot. And this obviously led to low-scoring games. Yeah, you wouldn't believe sometimes the winning score was 28-20. When I was a junior, the fast break evolved, and now the players were shooting a one-handed set shot. The pace of the game obviously was speeded up quite a bit, and the scores were up in the 60, 70-point range and higher. Our gym was in the space where the current Simsbury Engineering Department is located. The lighting was very poor because they were using fluorescent fixtures at that time. The school auditorium and the gym were one and the same. Our fans sat up in the balcony overlooking the court. The out of bounds on one end was inches away from the stage. On the other end, it was inches away from two swinging doors. I recall one game where one of my teammates either ran or was pushed into the doors, and he ended up losing his two front teeth. We had a record of 56 wins and 15 defeats, not including tournament games. Now, last but not least, was the baseball field. That was located on Masako Street, just beyond Central School. Simsbury had the only all-dirt infield in the league, which served to our advantage. Balls hit on the ground on a dirt surface came at you at a pretty good rate of speed, as opposed to those hit on a grass surface, which you know, slowed the ball down. We didn't have any outfield lights. We didn't have dugouts. We didn't have electric scoreboard, and we didn't wear batting helmets because they weren't in vogue at that time. So I wanted to take a few moments to take you back in time for several reasons. First of all, I wanted to point out that we had a healthy perspective toward winning, even though we did not have good facilities, and we faced more than a few hardships, which did not deter us. We went out there knowing that we represented the Trojans of Simsbury High School. So I want to finish up here by saying I enjoyed my time at Simsbury High, and I know that sports played an awful part of the person I turned out to be today, which is sullen and all that, if you want. But I am honored and proud and happy to be a member of the Hall of Fame, and all I can say is after listening to some of the credentials of these other people, I just have to say, wow. In closing, I want to say thank you very much for braving the elements to be here tonight. God bless America, and go Trojans.